Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour! I am your humble French tarot reader and deck goblin marine, and today I'm super excited to be sharing with you some of my newest tarot and oracle decks, as well as some new books. You guys know I love to do these videos every month or couple of months where I share with you some of the new oracle and new tarot that have joined my collection. And because I'm not just a chaotic deck goblin, I'm also a huge bookworm, I like to share with you some of the books I recently acquired, as I know there's a lot of fellow bookworms out there who love talking about books. Found quite a few secondhand books recently, which I'm super excited about getting into, so I thought I'd share them with you in this little video. So as per usual, I'm gonna be putting timestamps, so if you're just there for the decks, you can jump ahead, you can navigate and do your thing. I'm gonna make sure to put all the names of the decks and books I'm mentioning today in the description box, so that if you're ever thinking, what the heck is this French frog saying? It's gonna be in the description box. And I wanted to take this moment to just thank you for your patience this year and your kindness. I know I've not been very active this year, either on this channel or on the Waves of Your Soul readings, which is my second channel where I post tarot readings, pick a pile, monthly guidance, and all of that good stuff. And that's all due to some very heavy health struggles I've been going through since the beginning of the year. As some of you may know, I navigate the waters of chronic pain, chronic illness. I live with invisible disability, but this year specifically has been one of my worst years health-wise, which has definitely impacted my content. I'm sure you've noticed I don't post as often. I know I'm super slow and sometimes can't even respond to comments, which is normally something I pay so much attention to. It's just really affected my ability to show up as a content creator and also to engage with you guys, with my community. And I wanted to apologize for that and to just say thank you for your continuous patience whilst I'm trying to just get through day by day. I still read all of your comments. I appreciate every single one of you watching, even my beloved lurkers who are watching and not commenting. I know I appreciate the time you spend with me. I absolutely appreciate every single person who decides to engage with my content in any shape or form. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just trying to find a rhythm right now that works whilst I'm still trying to get back on my feet in terms of my physical health struggle, chronic illness, and mostly chronic pain issues. But I did want to say a huge thank you for your patience and for your kindness, whilst I know I've been a little bit more absent or quiet than usual. That being said, I am super happy to be here today. I had a little bit of spoons and I thought, you know what better way to spend my Saturday, as I'm not feeling too horrible, than to share with my friends some of the new decks and books that I got. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope everyone is taking good care of themselves. At the time of this filming, we just started Virgo season, so happy birthday season to all of my Virgos. And without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start with books and then we'll move on to decks. I've got some absolute hidden gems to share with you guys. Super excited and I think you're going to really love them. So let's do this. We are accompanied today by my little hero No. Looks like this. I don't know if you guys know Hero No. It's a figure from Pop Mart, and it's like it comes from blind boxes. It's a little guy. There's lots of different series, but this is the one I have. I love Hero No. I think he's so cute. And of course, the one that I picked in my blind box is literally covered in twine and he's stuck and can't move. And if that's not the perfect representation of the last 6 months for me, where I've been bedbound so much and so much stopped by my physical health, and I thought we would have him hang out with us because he's so cute. Look at this little fish. And let's get into it. We're gonna start with books. You guys know I'm a huge fantasy lover, and in terms of grand epic fantasy authors, I've read most of Robin Hobb. Right now I'm almost finished with her Life Ship trilogy, which I'm loving, but I've read a lot of her other books. I've just started my Wheel of Time journey, but one of the authors that has been repeatedly recommended to me as a fantasy reader has been Brandon Sanderson, and so I decided to start my Brandon Sanderson journey this year. He is one of those contemporary writers who is super famous, right? Just like George R. Martin and Robin Hobb. It's grand scale fantasy, several books in a series. There are several series. The point that I was told that was a great point to start was Mistborn, which is his first trilogy. So I actually got the first 3 books. We have Mistborn, book 1, so by Brandon Sanderson. We have the second book, which is called The Well of Ascension. And the third book is called The Hero of Ages. As you can see, I have the French version. I didn't anticipate reading the French version. Normally, if I read like fantasy that is written in English originally, I try and read the original text. However, my dad has expressed some interest in reading Brandon Sanderson as well, so I thought I would pick up the first 3 books of his Mistborn trilogy. This way, I can read them and then I can pass them on to my dad and we can have a little book club because he's getting into reading now that he's retired, and I actually have been the one like giving him all of the reading material because I read a lot more than my dad. I've been reading since I was a child. My dad has only picked up reading really since his retirement days, and I'm really enjoying being able to recommend to him books as we have some similar taste, at least when it comes to fantasy. So I thought it would be super fun to be able to share this experience with him, which is why I ended up picking up the French version of this. So I have the first 3 books of the Mistborn trilogy. The Mistborn series, I guess, is actually consisted of 6 books, so 2 trilogies. And then I know Brandon Sanderson has also recently released another book series, which is called, I think, The Way of Kings or something like that, which if I love these, I will probably end up picking as well, as it sounds also grand and epic in scale. I've tried to steer clear of knowing too much about these books, but what I've picked up is that, at least from Mistborn, the first book, it's kind of a hybrid epic fantasy with a high story, which sounds amazing. I love a good high story. I was told this was grand scale. I was told that the magic system in this one is really great, as apparently you are dealing magic with metals, so depending on the metals you use, you have different magical powers. I was told the world building with Brandon Sanderson is amazing because every book is part of the same universe, his Cosmere universe, so eventually things link up and you might have cameos from different characters or different worlds. It's epic, it's grand scale, and apparently required reading as a fantasy lover, so I'm excited to get into this. You guys let me know if you've read any Brandon Sanderson. Let me know if you've read Mistborn. Let me know if I should get the next 3 from this series, or if I should, after I'm done with this one, jump ahead to The Way of Kings. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear from my fellow fantasy lovers what you thought about this book. The other books I'm going to share with you, I actually got secondhand. So Mistborn I bought new, but all the other ones I got secondhand from one of my favorite shops that is actually not far from where I have to do my physical therapy appointments. Very dangerous for my wallet because every time I struggle at physical therapy, I'm like, I deserve a little treat. I mean, at least I'm not doing drugs, right? Books are healthier than drugs. That's what I tell myself. This is a book written by a French author, Cassandre Lambert. It's called L'Empire des Femmes, or The Empire of Women. It's book 1. I believe this is a trilogy, or at least a duology. This sounded really interesting because this is taking a stereotypical Roman gladiator style society, but putting women in charge and putting men as the slaves and as the ones who have to please women. So this is why it's called The Empire of Women. In this particular world, women rule and men serve. So it really is an interesting twist on things. And it's a book about feminism, obviously, about gender roles, and really interesting to twist things around. What would happen in a society if women ruled and if men were only purpose was to serve women. So I'm excited to read this one. I've heard good things for my French readers. Let me know if you have read this, if you have enjoyed it. I really thought the exploration of gender roles and this like twist on power and the power that comes from our gender that is assigned by society, sadly. I thought that would be an interesting exploration. So I'm excited to get into this one. Another book I picked up secondhand is this. This is the French version, but you guys can get this in English. The Gracier by Kim Leggett. So in French, it's called L'Année de Grâce. This is dystopian. I was told that this is in the same vein as The Handmaid's Tale, as Power, as Vox. Those are all amazing books in my opinion in terms of dystopia. I love to read fantasy, but another one of my favorite genre in terms of book is dystopian books. A lot of dystopian books are actually turning out to be pretty predictive when it comes to what's going on with our society, which is slightly scary, but that's a subject for another time. Anyway, The Gracier, apparently amazing dystopian book. In this book, society has decided to send all of the girls who turn 16 into the forest, as girls, once they reach 16, are considered to be dangerous. They are considered to have dangerous magical powers. So at 16, girls are sent into the forest where they are meant to release power. Some of them come back after a year, most of them don't. In this book, we're going to look at what happens in this forest during this Gracier, what happens to the girls when they are being exiled because they are considered to be too dangerous for society. From what I'm understanding, this is very much in line with The Handmaid's Tale, Hunger Games, like I told you, Vox, Power, all of those books which have a dystopian and feminist twist. So I'm really pumped for this one, and it's not too long, so this is one of those that I can take with me to spend time in the waiting room or at the doctor or whatever. I can shove in my bag. I know I'm gonna get through this one pretty fast. The last couple of books I wanted to share with you are from M.K. Jemisin, American writer. She's a woman of color, writes mostly science fiction and fantasy. I have been very much recommended to read her 5th season trilogy, which apparently is post-apocalyptic / fantasy trilogy. I've heard only amazing things about it. I will get to it at some point. But actually in the bookshop, I found another duology from hers that has also been on my radar for years, and it is The Killing Moon and the Shadowed Sun. And all I know is that it is an Egyptian inspired world where the magic system relies on the exploration of dreams. Of the people who have magic are able to navigate people's dreams, harvest the magic of the sleeping mind, and use it to either heal, soothe, or sometimes even kill those who are judged corrupt. So that's all I know, and honestly that was enough for me to pick up this duology because one, it's from a woman author that I have only heard great things about. Two, is set in this Egyptian inspired fantasy world, which I love anything Egyptian inspired. And three, the idea of dream magic, of people being able to explore other people's dreams, and that being a key point for potentially getting you in trouble when you dream about, sounds amazing and super interesting. So I picked up the two books. As you can see, they've been translated in French. In French, it's called the same thing, The Killing Moon and the Shadowed Sun, as it is in English. Why are the two different sizes? That is one of the things that I will continue to wonder. I don't know why. The books don't match in terms of sizes. That is so depressing. Like, when I see these two next to each other in my bookshelf, I feel sad. Why are you doing this to us? It makes no sense. But, it's okay. We are here for the words. We're not here for the books. It is a minor detail, but it is annoying. If I like this, I will get into the Broken Earth trilogy next. Definitely, I'm excited to get into those two. So yeah, let me know if you've read them. What are your thoughts? Share with us in the comments for all of my bookworms. And now that you've seen the books I've gotten recently, let me know if you have recommendations for me. I mean, my TBR is full right now, and I've been reading a lot. I've actually read over 100 books already this year, so I need to do a little monthly favorite or catch up where I need to share with you all of my favorite recent 5-star reads, as well as my recent favorite Tarot and Oracle decks. I will film that next time I have enough spoons. So if you want to see any books I've read recently that I really recommend in terms of fantasy, sci-fi, dystopia, literary fiction, I read a lot of different genres. You can look forward to that if you are a fellow bookworm like me. But without further ado, we're gonna get into decks. Let's do this. Let's start with a little order I made from Salon des Arcanes about 2 months ago. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen them, as I've been using them consistently. If you watch my latest video where I also shared with you 10 standard decks in 10 different genres, if you haven't seen that, I'll leave it in the cards. You will have seen one of them as well, as I shared one of them there. We have Le Tarot des Enfants Terribles, and we have Badass Manifestor cards. I got these two from Salon des Arcanes, which is a French-based tarot shop. Nicolas, the owner, stocks indie decks mass market decks, and he ships internationally. And I'm going to start with this one, as this is a deck by Yena from Soul Shadow Tarot, which are usually in limited numbers. At the time of me filming, which is literally end of August, I still saw some copies left on Salon des Arcanes. I believe we are at the end of the run now. So this was on sale for most of July and August. I don't know if there still be copies in September, as like I said, this is a limited run. For me, I managed to get my hands on it about mid-July. Nicola releases small numbers every day, so you have to come refresh the page, check that there's some available. Literally translates to the Tarot of the Naughty Kids, and as you're gonna see, this is super cool because it's a pop culture deck that is inspired by the 80s and the 90s. In this one, we have 100 cards, which I love. You guys know I love a chunky deck, and Yena really did her big one with this one because she gave us tons of options. So here are all the extra cards that I have not included in my deck that I could have chosen. We have extra Three of Swords, we have an extra Sun card, an extra Devil, an extra Lovers, an extra Hierophant, an extra Emperor. There are tons of choices. We have these awesome backs, and we have black edges. Again, I've shared this deck on my Instagram. I've shared this deck on my latest video, so a lot of you will have seen it already. You're gonna see this is very pop culture inspired, 90s and 80s, and as the name suggests, Tarot of the Naughty Kids. It's a lot of our childhood nostalgia, games, toys, video games, things that we would use when we were younger, and this is just a trip down memory lane that makes me so happy. Since I have shared this in my 10 standard tarot deck video, I've been using this consistently all month of August, and this slaps, you guys. This is such a good reader. As all of Yena's decks, you guys know she's one of my favorite tarot creators. Yena from Soul Shadow Tarot, here on YouTube. I have most of her decks. She created another pop culture deck back in 2018, which I have, which was her Soul Shadow Tarot, which I absolutely adore. And this is her newest creation, which has been years in the making. I'm so happy she finally decided to release it to us, as it's such a joy. There's so many iconic references to TV shows, toys, games, and just elements of our childhood. Association with tarot archetypes. This is extremely smart, as Yena is very clever. You know, she's a Gemini queen. She's extremely intelligent when it comes to associating tarot with pop culture. She has a way to tie tarot to day-to-day things that just make sense. So for example, for the Seven of Cups, we have Pogs. For the Seven of Pentacles, for example, we have a NBA player who's training. For the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Addams Family, which I think is very clever. For the Empress, we have the Tamagotchi. I think that's genius. For the 8 of Pentacles, we have Edward Scissorhands. For the King of Swords, for example, we have Braveheart. Let's see, for Three of Cups, which is one of the cards we could choose. Well, the one I chose was the Three Sisters from Charmed, which I think is excellent for the Three of Cups. We have this idea of sisterhood, of working together, and of, you know, love and sisterly love. I think it's genius. We have Calimero for the Eight of Swords. The Five of Swords is Scar from the Lion King. For the Sun, we have Care Bear. There's just a ton of references here to different elements, pop culture elements. It's really great. This has been one of my main decks for myself for August. It loves to chat. Deck feels very happy in the realm of swords. It's a chatterbox. It doesn't shut up. Every time I've used this deck, it has a lot to say. I love it for that. And it also is a sharpshooter in the sense that every reading I've done with it so far has been spot on. So I really need to use it for you guys on my second channel, The Waves of Your Soul Readings. I'm gonna do a reading for you using this because it's excellent. I really don't want to be keeping it to myself. Again, I don't know if this is still available or not on Salon des Arcanes. Check Nicolas' newsletter or check his Instagram page, check his website. In the same order as this one in order to make sense for shipping, because shipping to Reunion Island can be quite expensive. So I try to make the most of shipping when I do put some orders abroad or even to mainland France. I picked up at the same time Badass Manifestor Oracle cards by Lapin Bêche. This deck exists in French and in English. I picked up the English version because I do my readings online mostly in English, so that made sense to me. For my French speakers out there, if you want, you can get this in French as well. We have 62 cards, and as you're gonna see, this is really fun affirmation deck. It's bold, it's bright. There's no guidebook because it's literally affirmations. I've used this one to death already. You can see it's already got a bow because I've been using it literally all month, just leaving it on my altar, pulling a card every day, sending cards to my friends. It's very me-coded, I would say, in terms of the vibes, in terms of the colors, the aesthetic. So here are the backs. We don't have any edges. I should probably edge it in yellow at some point. I think it will be cute. We have an image and we have a little mantra or a little affirmation. This is very empowering. It's meant to give you a kick up the but it's meant to give you a boost. It's a little bit cheeky. There are some swear word in this one. There's definitely the F word here and there. So if you don't like that, that's not the deck for you. But if you like a badass deck, a fierce deck, a deck that's going to give you a little bit of a kick up the butt, and you like bold graphics like myself, bold colors, maximalist colors, then I think you will really enjoy this one. It's one of those that I love to pull a card a day. I love to finish my readings with one of those cards as well. I actually used it in my September monthly reading. If you guys haven't seen that, you can find that on the Waves of Your Soul readings. I leave it in the card somewhere. I pulled at the end of the reading a card for everyone, and it spoke beautifully. It literally summarized every single pile perfectly. It was just awesome the way it tied everything together, and I love those little affirmation decks. You guys know I have quite a few. I should do a affirmation deck collection video because I have quite a few, and they are all giving different vibes or different aesthetics. So I will do that at some point, actually. It reminds me. But yeah, I look at this and look at me attracting my people like a badass. I already have everything I need within myself, and I don't let anything or anyone convince me otherwise. Let's see, my creativity knows no bounds. My imagination has no limits. I create magic and make my dreams a reality. We have, I am down to earth while being my highest self. Should I, could I, would I? I did it. I love this one. I know and believe I deserve it. I worked for it. I can manifest it. And now I let the universe work its magic and bring it all to me. As you can see, it's very manifesting vibes, very empowering, very tailored towards giving you a boost. And you know what? I need that. I need it, especially this year, which has been extremely hard for me. Health-wise, I've told you in the intro of this video, I've been going through it, you guys. So putting a little card that can give me a little bit of a boost is welcome. And on top of that, I love the aesthetic. You're right. The graphic design and everything is really cute. I love all the colors. So this has been a very fun addition to my tarot practice and oracle deck collection. Finally, I want to finish with 3 hidden gems that I ordered from Vermillon Collection. Vermillon Collection are a website that stocks a lot of Chinese created decks, or even decks that are created by, I would say, East Asian or Chinese creators. And a couple of months ago when I checked, they had some decks I wanted, and they had an offer where you could get 3 decks with a discount and you could get free shipping, which are my favorite English word. When I hear free shipping, that is the way straight to my heart, you guys, because again, living in Reunion Island, international shipping can be crazy. So when I see free shipping, I'm like, yeah, take my money. So they had this deal where you can get 3 decks, and getting 3 decks was actually cheaper than getting 2 decks. I know it sounds like girl math, but it did make sense. So of course, I got 3 decks, and I'm going to talk to you about them. 2 I've been using, and 1 I've not used yet. The first one, we have Windbell Island. Originally, I backed this on Kickstarter, and I never received my copy. I think the package got lost. It happens sometimes. It's happened to me, I think, twice or 3 times ever since I've backed Kickstarter that I haven't received my order. That's just the way it is sometimes with international shipping, with packages getting lost. Most of the time I've been refunded. This one originally I had back on Kickstarter, never got my copy, managed to get a refund. I still really wanted the deck though. So then I saw that Vermillon Collection was selling this deck, so I decided to jump on the occasion and finally pick it up. So this is by WoW Studio. So Vermillon stocks a lot of WoW Studio decks. They are on Etsy as well, I think, so depending where you guys like to shop. I can't remember if there are several versions of this one or not, but this is the one that I got, the one that comes in a 2-piece box and with the guidebook, which is full color and which is half in English, half in Chinese. Here are the backs. Fully reversible. We have beautiful blue kind of hollow edging. Hopefully you can see that. It's really beautiful. The cardstock feels very bendy, and as you can see, it has a little bit of texture, so it might be linen, I'm not sure. It feels very bendy though, so if you like to riffle shuffle, hopefully you can see the texture here, and if you like to riffle shuffle with this one, you'd have no problem. I'm not a big riffle shuffler myself, but it's very easy to overhand shuffle as well. You're gonna see this is very RWS coded, whilst I probably didn't necessarily need this deck. Like I said, I had backed it on Kickstarter because I loved the graphic of it, the color choices, and the art style, and so I'm happy I finally have it in my hands because it's beautiful. I've been using it recently and it reads like a dream. It's very RWS coded, as you're gonna see, but with very bold colors choices as well as the art style. I really like it. I think it's really cute, so that's mostly why I wanted it, because I really enjoyed the art style. And again, did I need this? No, it is the most original deck I own, not necessarily, but it's beautiful and it reads well, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And this is one I would be very happy to read with for others as well. Very easy to read with, and I think quite stunning, to be honest. Very, very stunning. I just love the art style of this one, the colors. It's almost like cartoonish, but still feels grown up enough that it doesn't feel like an inner child deck at all. Actually, it reads quite grown up, and I find it really stunning. So I'm super happy that I could finally get my hand on this one. I never see it mentioned on Instagram or anything like that, and yet it's absolutely beautiful. So for me, it's a hidden gem, for sure. That being said, maybe some people have shared it, I've just not seen it, because to be honest, I've not been really able to watch any of my fellow tarot tubers content recently because of all my ongoing health issues. Hasn't left me with much time to engage with other people's content, so maybe it is getting some love. I don't really see it a lot on social media though, and yet it's beautiful. I love this 5 of Pentacles. I don't know. Something about his skull face is so cute. The Empress is beautiful. So yeah, I'm super excited to finally have this one in my hands, and I'm excited to finally use it for you guys on my other channel, where I'm going to be using it very soon for a reading for you. This is going to go straight in my little tower shelves of RWS decks that I could use for everyone and everything. Gorgeous tower, really stunning. She looks like an evil queen from a fairy tale, and you know what? I'm here for it. I love those choices of colors, right? When you are putting all the cards together, it's very bright, very bold, and we have to look at the Hierophant because he has sunglasses, and that is just a hoot. Look at this. I remember going through the Kickstarter campaign and seeing the sunglasses on the Hierophant and being like, yep, take my money. Sometimes that's enough to make you want a deck. And at least for me, I don't need much to be happy, to be honest. I'm a simple girl with simple taste. Give me a Hierophant with sunglasses and I'm happy. From the same Vermillon Collection order, I got my hands on this one, the Lighthouse in Fog Tarot. There was several options. You could get this in white or blue, and you could get this as super large card or mini deck. Originally, I wanted the super large cards because you guys might know if you watch my videos, I have large hands, so I tend to prefer larger decks, but it was out of print at the time. I don't know if they've restocked or not. So this was actually the only one I could get. Turns out, actually, now that I have it in my hands, I have been enjoying the smaller version because I've been carrying it around in my handbag and kind of taking it around with me. So it actually worked out great, even though it was not necessarily the format I wanted. Turned out that it was the format that I needed. We have, as you can see, this one comes in a little tuck box. I don't know originally who it's by, but again, I got this one on Vermilion Collection. You can get it on Etsy. And this one doesn't come with a guidebook, this edition at least. It's just the card, extra cards. We have a couple of oracle cards. We have this one, the lighthouse, and this one, the wheel of tree. This is another one of those decks where I've never seen anyone share it. I've never seen pictures of it online. I've never seen it on Instagram or anything like that. So when I did my order from Vermilion Collection, I actually took a risk with this one because I didn't really know what to expect. I saw some images on the website and originally had gone into to get this one and then saw some images of this one and was like, okay, this looks really beautiful. I literally don't know what to expect, but I'm gonna take a chance. And I'm super pleasantly surprised, you guys. This is absolutely stunning. Linen cardstock with this one. Here are the backs, fully reversible. As I was telling you, I definitely took a chance with this one. I'd never seen anyone share it or anything like that, but the few images that they had on the website I found absolutely stunning. And let me tell you, I have zero regret because this is extremely beautiful. I love, first of all, the hand-drawn style, and I love also the fact that this one feels like it's set in a fantasy world, which is something that, as you might know, is a genre I love, right? I love decks that take you in this fantasy land, magical creatures. Anything like that is very my vibe. As you're gonna see, the different suits and major arcana are actually different colors. So if you do it like this, you're gonna straight away notice the pentacles are green and brown. The swords are all in this like almost gray, black and white colors. All of the majors are on black background. So when you do it like this, all the black borders are the major arcana and they're in this blue color. The wands are in these red tones, and the cups are in blue and purple tones. So every suit is very different from each other. Even major and minor arcana, we have different colored bordered. That doesn't bother me at all. I actually really like it because when you are doing a spread, you straight away notice which is a majors, which is a sword suit, etc., etc. I know that can bother some people. For me, I really like it. It's quite striking, right? And I personally find the artwork of this one absolutely stunning. Even though each suit feels quite different to the point where I don't even know if it might be different creators, I'm not sure. It still feels cohesive, right? So the the pentacles feel a lot more colorful than the wands, which are a lot more in these red tones. And all of the majors are in these blue tones, which again, I'm guessing is because I picked the blue color. Maybe if I picked the white color, this would be more black and white. I'm not sure. I couldn't find much information about this deck online, to be honest. When you put all the cards together, it's very stunning, very striking. And I actually really, really enjoyed this one. This was such a good surprise for me because I kind of went in a little bit sight unseen. I didn't really know what to expect from this one. I kind of took a chance, and I'm happy to report that it's really cool. Look at this tower. It's very unique. I've been carrying this one around, using it for myself. Even look at the chariot. You actually turn it around like this. I've been, using it for myself, carrying it around, and I have gotten some fantastic readings with this one. It's a lot deeper than I expected it to be. It feels very rooted in this, again, magical world. Look at the cups. They feel like little spirits. Very stunning, the art style. There's a lot of whales in this one, which, I mean, come on, I can't resist. You know, those are some of my favorite animals. So this one is definitely a little bit strange because each suit feels very different from one another. The colors, the style, like I told you, to the point where sometimes I'm like, is it different artist? And yet it is beautifully cohesive and it reads like a dream. And I have been absolutely enjoying it. Very unique in my collection, I think, this particular deck, and one I never see anywhere. Like literally, I think even on Instagram or social media in general, it doesn't seem to be one that's popular. But how beautiful is this full card? Look, there's a lot to get into in each card. There's a lot of details. Look at this 10 of Swords. Ooh, it's beautiful. Very striking. Let's look at a couple more cards. The 9 of Swords I thought was very striking as well. Look at this. Very beautiful. 3 of Pentacles, beautiful. The Hermit has a fish head. Why not? Interesting, right? The Queen of Swords is beautiful. I really like her facial expression. She looks fierce and wise at the same time. We have the Page of Swords. Let me find more of the Major Arcana because I found the Major Arcana particularly beautiful. Look, we have the Emperor. Here is the Emperor. Beautiful. Almost in this underwater world. Let's see. We have the Hierophant is again this underwater theme, like with an octopi body. Really cool. The High Priestess is stunning. All of the majors is set in this like underwater world, which speaks to my soul, to be honest. The Strength card is beautiful. Looks like parting the sea, which is really interesting. And the Moon, probably one of the most beautiful cards in the deck, to be honest. This Moon card is very special. And let's have the Star card. It has lots of mental ray. And let's finish with the Hanged Man. With again this water theme, the boat, the waves, really beautiful. I can imagine that having this deck with like larger card would have been absolutely stunning to look at the art better. So that is the only regret I have for not having the larger version, is that I'm sure getting into all the details with larger card stock would have been a joy. But in terms of portability and use, I've been really enjoying this particular deck because I've been taking it around with me everywhere. And again, very pleasantly surprised because look how beautiful. Even the Sun card, so stunning. I did not expect much from it, if I'm completely honest, but I am very pleasantly surprised and I'm excited to, again, use it for you guys on the Waves of Your Soul readings very soon. And we're going to finish with this one, which is the only one I've not used yet. It is the Serenity Tarot. As I told you, when you were going on the website, you could get 3 decks. And it turned out cheap. So of course I got 3 because I'm a glutton and I'm weak. So I haven't used this one yet, but it looked very sweet and beautiful, and that was enough for me. Sometimes that's all I need. It's again one of those that is half in English, half in Chinese, and it just looked very ethereal and whimsical, and that just sounded right up my street. Here is what the box looks like. 2-piece box. We have a little word, the sunny skies, a gentle wind, and the romantic flowers. Looking up, I praise the wind of freedom thousands of times. We have another one of those guidebook, half in English, half in Chinese. So there's no pictures in this one. It's definitely more keywords, very basic. The backs, which I find very beautiful, again, very whimsical. And we're going to discover it together because I've flipped through it, but I've not yet properly used it. So we're going to see together what it gives. As you can see already, colors are a lot more muted than the Windbell Island, for example, which was bold and fierce. This is a lot more pastel-like colors. As you're gonna see, the art style feels beautiful and whimsical. Again, it's an RWS, so for me, one of those that I feel very comfortable reading with for anything and everyone. I did notice though, after purchasing it and looking through it, that sadly there's not any really diverse skin tone or anything in this one. So that's a shame. That's one thing I wish we had more in this deck. Skin tone diversity, that's always something I like and appreciate in my decks. But like I said, when I went on the website, I needed to get a third deck to actually get cheaper order and get free shipping. So I kind of went sight unseen, and I saw that this was meant to be a whimsical RWS, and I thought, you know what, even if I don't end up keeping this one, it will be a wonderful one to give to my friends if they want to learn tarot. This feels like a very easy deck to learn on, feels very whimsical, so I know if I don't get use out of this one, I'll be able to pass it on to someone who will absolutely love it. But I'm gonna keep it for now. Definitely energy and read with it, because there's some beautiful cards. We have extra cards again. We have the time, hourglass, and the seasons. The art style, you're gonna see it feels a little bit whimsical, almost fey-like in energy, right? A lot of the beings have antlers, and I think some of them have wings. Is really sweet in energy, a little bit fantastical, a little bit whimsical, and very gentle, I think, in its energy. From the pastel colors, the art style, and everything. Even the Three of Swords doesn't feel threatening at all, right, with the flowers. So this is a deck I know I'm gonna be happy to read with, especially for other people on my second channel. And I know if I don't end up keeping it, I'll be able to pass it on to like my cousins and stuff who are maybe a little bit younger and who like a little bit more whimsical decks, because it feels really sweet in energy. Look, the Knight of Swords is on a butterfly. Yeah, it's really cute. The King of Swords has butterfly wings. Let's move on to the cups. We have Two of Cups here, Four of Cups, very RWS coded. Even the Five of Cups doesn't feel as heavy as other decks, I think. The Nine of Cups is beautiful with this lotus flower, and in the 10 of Cups we have a humpback whale, so you guys know I can't resist that. Actually, all of the cups court cards have whales, I believe, which obviously I'm all about. Stunning, 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 beautiful. And let's look at the pentacles. Cute little outfits again, which feel very fey-like. The Four of Pentacles is actually adorable. Five of Pentacles, let's continue. We have the 8, really sweet. The 10, super cute. And then here are the last court card. I love that the knights are on those little spirits, really sweet. And we have the Queen and the King, so super sweet. Kind of took a chance with this one as well. Again, would have preferred if we had different skin tones. That's just something I like in my decks, but it is very beautiful. I will get some use out of it for sure. And if I don't end up keeping it, I know I will make someone else very happy. In terms of energy, I will say it almost gives me the same energy as the decks from, oh gosh, what's her name? You know, all the decks from Paulina Cassidy. It gives that same kind of energy. So I think now she's called Paulina Faye. All of those very whimsical, but also pastel-like, soothing kind of decks. It reminds me of that. So I'm excited to actually use this one. But that's the last deck I wanted to share with you guys today. So I'm going to finish here. I wanted to say a huge thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my newest gems, new books, new decks. Let me know in the comments if you have any of them. Let me know what new decks or new books you guys got. Let's just have a chat in the comments. Again, I know I'm not very good at responding right now, but no, I do read every single one, and I really appreciate you spending time with me and hanging out. So thank you so much for being here. Until next time, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! See you soon, Internet!